Hello everyone, good afternoon. Diksha, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Pavani. Hello everyone, good afternoon. Pavan, good afternoon ma'am. Good afternoon Pavan. Bhanu Teja, good afternoon ma'am. Manoj, good afternoon. Gopalakrishnan, good afternoon. Aravind Radhakrishnan, good afternoon ma'am. Good afternoon Aravind. So yes, a very good afternoon for everyone. I hope you all have or had a great lunch. I guess all of your stomachs are so full, but don't sleep in the class as mostly theory subjects are there. So yes, a major and big problem with the theory subjects, we will not be able to handle the sleep time after our lunch. But yes, we are in very round the corner of exams. So yes, we have to have the class even in the afternoon times. So yes, let me know if everything is clear. If everything is clear, then give it in the chat box as clear or else thumbs up and we will start the session. Be active in the chat box. I need a quick replies from you. Is everything clear? Just let me know whether is everything clear. Is everything clear? Bhanu Teja, clear ma'am. Thank you, Bhanu or Teja. Thank you. Thank you so much. So yes, we are going to start our session now. Pavani Dasari. Yes, ma'am. Let's start. Thank you, Pavani. Yes, we are going to start. Gopalakrishnan, clear, ma'am. Thank you. Pavan, clear, ma'am. Priya, clear, ma'am. Arvind Radhakrishnan, clear, ma'am. Raga Samira. Samira, nice name. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Samira. Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Now, we are going to start with our day 2 Super 50 booster session. In day 2, we have completed day 1 target in the previous class. And now we are going to start with day 2 of the target. Now, in day 2, what we are going to see? In the previous class, we have completed section A, first 5 units. Now, the rest 3 units which we have in the entire section A, we have 8 units. In the last 3 units, we are going to discuss in this particular class, and also we are going to discuss management audit first 2 units. Now, what are those? Cost audit program, cost audit documentation, audit process and execution, preparation and filing of cost audit report, basics of management audit and management reporting issues and analysis. This is all what we are going to see in this particular class. Now, I guess we will start the class now. Now, we are going to start with cost audit program unit. Now, what is the important question from this particular unit? I have given 2 questions to be important. One is a concept, which is concept number 3, and the next is question number 1. So, what is given in question number 1 of cost audit program? Section A, Unit 6, Cost Audit Program. Now, what is the first question which is given? Question 1 is from concept number 2. Now, what is concept number 2? We'll see in the concept book. Cost Audit Program. Concept number 2, Factors in Planning Cost Audit Assignment. So, you have to clearly understand about what does it mean by Cost Audit Program. What does it mean by cost audit assignment? What does it mean by the other terms related to cost audit? For this particular unit, you just have to understand about cost audit assignment and cost audit program. Now, what does it mean by cost audit assignment? The entire trial of events which you are going to do in the entire cost audit is called as cost audit assignment. Now, what does it mean by cost audit program? How you are going to do that particular cost audit? what all techniques you are going to follow it, what planning you are going to do. In each step of the process, what you are going to do, that is called as cost audit program. Now, what is cost audit assignment? The verification which you are going to do is called as cost audit assignment. The work which you are going to do is called as assignment. Now, what is cost audit program? Whatever you are going to do in each and every step, and through that step process, what will be your consequences? So if I'm doing this first step, next this will happen, and after that I'll do that, and after that this will be the consequence, next that will happen again. So a trial of events, what will be doing and what it will happen, clearly pre-planned program, whatever we are deciding for our cost audit is called as cost audit program, which we are going to see in this particular entire unit. Now, before going into cost audit program, we have the important factors while doing the cost audit assignment, and while planning cost audit assignment, we have to consider the important factors. Now, what are those important factors which are to be considered? First, audit personnel for the assignment. Second, documentation of audit procedures and evidence. Third, quality control over performance of the assignment. These are the three categories or factors which are very important to be planned before getting into cost audit assignment, which means before you are going to start the program itself, before the assignment is going to start, before you're going to start the work itself, you have to focus on these factors. Now, what is audit personnel for the assignment? For doing audit, you need people, yes or no? And for that people, how will you take? You will call a random person who is walking on streets and come will go for audit. Will you do that? No. We need a trained professionals. So gathering that audit personnel is the first major step. Experience and training. Consider the relevant industry experience and training of the audit personnel. Not only you will verify for yourself that am I capable of doing this? Will I be competent of doing this? No. For each and every member in the audit team should be knowing what is the experience and whether they have competent training or not. And then you will follow a two-pronged approach when you are going for the first procedure. Now, what is called as two-pronged approach? Study the industry and analyze the auditees companies' annual reports for at least past 5 years. Now, this is called as two-pronged approach. First, you will analyze about the industry perspective, and then you will understand about the organization also. And how you are going to analyze about organization? By looking into its annual reports for the past 5 years. And then you are going to determine what will be the direction and supervision, which means you are going to tell your team members that this will be your work, this will be your work, this will be your work. And based on that only you are going to do your work. You have to assign your audit team, each and every one, what work they are going to do. The auditor needs proper guidance to perform the following task. Now, who the entire work they are going to do? Audit team members are going to do the entire audit. Whoever the head of the audit is there, the main important auditor, whoever is there, he will not do work. He will just sit calmly and check whether audit team members are doing their work properly or not. He will give a proper schedule. He will assign the duties. He will segregate the duties. He will tell that this is what you have to do. And who will do the work? Audit team members will do the work. Now, for them to do the work, the direction and supervision should be assigned priorly itself. Now, what kind of work will be done by audit team members? They will do the physical inspection. They will identify individuals responsible for the activities and who are going to maintain the cost records. We know that management are going to maintain the cost records, but in management, who are the important personnel who are going to do the cost records maintenance? Review cost accounting records and related documents, analyze statements related to budgets, plans and strategies, understand the cost accounting system used and its compliance with relevant cost accounting standards. Now, all these analysis of verification will be done by audit team members. For that audit team members, direction and supervision should be priorly fixed by the auditor. Next, document evidence collection. Audit personnel should gather and file relevant documentary evidence for future reference. Now, what kind of documentation we are talking about here? Not after verification, because we haven't started the assignment yet. But what kind of documentation we are going to do? We are going to study about the industry. We are going to analyze about the auditees companies. Now, after studying the industry and analyzing, whatever document evidence which we need for further reference regarding that, everything will be gathered and stored by the audit team members. So this is the first factor in planning a cost audit assignment, which is called as audit personnel for the assignment. Now, second, what will be done? Documentation of audit procedures and evidence. Second, what will be done? Whatever the audit which is being done, each and everything will be documented and everything evidence will be collected. Document all important matters that provide evidence to support the auditor's opinion. Now, if I am doing the analysis of industry or the auditee's company or about any process which is happening in the organization. Now, if I am telling that there is an inefficiency in this production process, I need to show a proof. Without proof, no one will trust. If you are coming and telling me that I am not doing the production properly, then I will obviously ask for proof. Because I am doing the production for these many years, I am not a startup. I know how to do a production. Now, if as an auditor, a person is coming and telling that the whatever production is happening is inefficient, now I will ask for proof. Management will ask for proof. So, all the documents, important matters that provide evidence to support the auditor's opinion should be collected by the auditing members. Prepare working papers that record evidence resulting from the audit. Now, what are called as working papers? Working papers are like the evidence of the cost auditor, which means the proof of the cost auditor. Now, whatever the work which is happening, to prove that I have done this work, I have gone for this verification, I have collected these kind of information from this sources. To prove that you have done the work, the invoices, whatever the documents which are required, whatever the papers which are required, everything will be collected and maintained by the cost auditor, which is called as the audit working papers. Prepare working papers that record evidence resulting from the audit. Include not only accounting data but also production schedules, quantitative data and statistical analysis. You will not only do the verification and collect the information about audit but also about production, quantitative, statistics, whatever it is. All the information will be collected. Who knows, that might be helpful for the audit in the future periods also. So whatever, even if it is not a material information, they will collect and put it in audit working papers. Keep records of queries raised, discussions held and resolutions passed. Now, if I have a group of team of 10 members, will everyone think in the same way? No. Each and everyone will have a different perspective. Yes or no? So, if I am telling that this will be the process which we are going to do the audit. Now, today we are going to do an interview of this particular person. Now, other person will tell, okay, we'll follow this technique of doing the interview. The other person will tell, no, we'll not do the interview for this person itself. We'll go for another person interview. Each and everyone will tell something. So, whatever discussions which are held in the entire audit process, whatever resolutions are got, whatever queries raised, each and everything will be maintained as a proper record. Utilize checklists and standard forms to enhance the efficiency in preparing and reviewing the working papers. Now, whatever we are talking here as utilizing checklist is called as cost audit program. Now, what is called as cost audit program? How you are going to do the audit? While doing this audit, you can use different techniques. Now, how techniques you can use? You can go for based on checklist basis, which means you will write the trial of events. Okay, I'm going to first check this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. In a point-wise manner, you are going to write everything which is called as checklist. If not, you can go for questionnaire manner. You can go for questionnaire manner, which means everything will be written in a question format. So, am I going to do this? Will this be okay? Do I have to improve anything? Will I do the production cost center analysis? I have to go and do the material analysis. And what will be the material cost? What will be the labor overheads? Regarding each and everything, questionnaire will be written. And based on that questionnaire, he will do the analysis and write the answer. He will do the analysis and write the conclusion or the evidence which is gathered. So, questionnaire basis can be followed, checklist basis can be followed, or they can go for flow chart basis, which means entire production will be analyzed and he will draw a flow chart of each and everything. So, there are different techniques for determining the cost audit program. In our syllabus, we have a checklist format. So series of checklists will be written for each and every element of cost, which is called as cost audit program. That will be done in the second factor. Utilize checklist and a standard form to enhance the efficiency. Organize the working papers file for easy retrieval and maintain confidentiality. You have to maintain confidentiality in the audit working papers and store it in a safe place so that easy access will not be there for each and every one. Either to legal and professional requirements for record retention. If suppose, for example, someone has hacked my laptop or someone has stole my documents, then what will happen? If something has done, virus attack is there, easy retrieval process should be priorly fixed by the audit company itself. So this is the second factor, which is called as documentation of audit procedures and evidence. Then third, quality control over performance of the assignment. Ensure proper direction, review and monitoring of the audit assignment. Doesn't mean that you have planned and you will relax. No, you have to check whether whatever planning has been done, the process is being followed in the planning way or not. Ensure proper direction is there, review it and monitor of the entire audit assignment. Track the preparation and maintenance of cost accounting records. How these are being prepared, how these are being maintained. Each and every time you will do the tracking of that. Assess the skill and competence of the audit assistants in understanding systems and procedures. Even at the first point, you have done the experience and training approach and you have followed a two-pronged approach. You have already analyzed what is the training which is there for the people in your audit team. Even though it is done, you have to assess the skill and competence of audit assistants in understanding the system. For each and every process, whatever plan you have made already as a cost auditor, whether they are being able to understand it or there any miscommunication or misunderstanding and they are being diverted from the cost audit objective, you have to analyze regarding everything. Stay informed about the cost accounting and auditing questions that arise during the audit. Adjust the audit plan and program based on the significant issues identified. If they are not understanding or if they are not being able to cope up with the audit plan, then revise it based on the queries raised, based on the understandings, you will revise it. Address differences in professional judgment among personnel and determine appropriate reference levels. So based on your professional judgment, you will determine what personnel will be there and how appropriate reference levels will be there. So these are the three factors in planning cost audit assignment. Audit personnel for the assignment, documentation of audit procedures and quality control over the performance of the assignment. I hope it's clear. So this will be a first question. What are the important factors? You will write the three factors of cost audit assignment. I hope it's clear. Now, next, concept number 3. I have given the entire concept 3. Now, what is concept 3? Cost audit program. Now, what is this cost audit program? We have already discussed that this cost audit program is nothing but a checklist, which means whatever the various cost elements are there in the production industry, regarding each and every cost element, the auditor will prepare a checklist of what should be analyzed, how it should be analyzed. Regarding each and everything, we'll prepare a checklist. And what all we have in this particular cost audit program. See, in cost audit program, we have 16 checklists. Now, what all 16 checklists are there? Audit of administrative overheads, audit of raw materials, audit of raw material inventory status, audit of selling and distribution overheads, audit of cost of electricity generated by DG set. What does it mean by DG set? Diesel generation set. Audit of demineralized water cost, audit of repairs and maintenance cost, audit of stores and spares cost, audit of electricity, employee cost, insurance, depreciation, audit of production, steam cost, packing material cost and sales value. Now, what are all these? These are the different cost elements which are important in the management or in the organization for decision making purpose, based on sale value, based on packing material, based on steam, production, depreciation, insurance, employee, electricity. All these are nothing but the important cost elements in the organization. So in determining all this, the auditor will prepare a different checklist for each and every cost element. the process of preparing this checklist and maintenance of this checklist is called as cost audit program. Cost audit program. Now, why I have given the entire concept 3 to be cost audit program? Because questions are being asked from each and every cost audit program. Now, these checklists are being asked as a question in the examination. Now, so far, what checklists have been asked? See, formulate audit checklist for auditing repairs and maintenance costs from the perspective of cost audit. Do we have repairs and maintenance? So regarding repairs and maintenance, you have to write about a checklist. Then question number 3. For audit of cost of electricity generated by DG set, draw a checklist, at least 6 points. So electricity generated by DG set. Cost of electricity generated by DG set. Then in a cost audit program, draw a checklist to audit the production of manufacturing unit product wise. Now, what is production of manufacturing unit product wise? First checklist. So this is how in 2016 syllabus as well as in 2022 syllabus, one checklist is being asked in the examination if they are asking a question from cost audit program. So only these two concepts are there. Either they will ask factors in determining or planning the cost audit assignment, or they will ask this checklist. Now, how to remember this checklist, how to remember these points, ma'am? Nothing but you have to revise it again and again to remember these points. There is no doubt in it. Now, we will see what all the questions which are being already tested in the examination. Audit of production product wise. How you are going to do the audit. How you are going to do the checklist preparation for production product wise. First, you are going to verify the inventory balance. To verify the inventory balance, what formula you are going to use? Opening stock plus production equal to external sales plus internal transfer plus closing stock. So this is the formula which you will use for verifying the inventory balance. And then ensure previous year's closing stock is correctly considered as opening stock for the current year. Check product wise capacity utilization for the last 5 years. Now, why we are determining the product wise capacity utilization? To know what will be our normal capacity. Now, what is normal capacity? Optimal possible output capacity which can be achieved during the current period is called as normal capacity. So, to determine what will be our capacity, estimated capacity in the current year, we are going to do the analysis of past 5 years product-wise capacity utilization. Then investigate abnormal underutilization and obtain explanations from the management. If resources are there and resources are being underly utilized, then you will go to the management and seek the justification for that. For what reason you are going for underutilization of resources. Review management steps to address underutilization, focusing on profitability products. After justification which is given, you will check what is the step which is taken by the management because there is a underutilization. Management will not leave like that if there is a underutilization of resources. They will focus on optimum utilization of resources. If there is underutilization, they have to take the steps for betterment. If they are not taking it, which means management are not doing work in the organization properly. So that has to be done as an analysis. Check if capacity additions match the actual production and investigate the discrepancies. See, for example, so far my machinery used to work for 3 hours. For example, I am telling. So my capacity of a machinery was only for 3 hours. So far it used to give the production only for capacity of 3 hours. Now, I have done some repairs and maintenance due to which the capacity has increased to 5 hours. Now, did my capacity increase? Yes. Did I incur the cost of our capacity increase? Yes. So, check if capacity addition is there. Yes, capacity addition is there. But by increasing capacity from 3 hours to 5 hours, did production has increased also? If only my capacity is increasing and production is decreasing, then what use of doing it? What use of increasing my capacity? If my capacity is increasing, my production output should also increase. So, auditor will do check about the capacity addition, whether it is matching with the actual production. And if there is any difference, then he will investigate about the differences. Request relevant management information system report to support the audit findings. Now, what it is called as management information system report? Now, management will do the analysis and they will prepare a report for summarization, which means regarding each and every element of cost, they will prepare a report. In that report, regarding each and every information will be there regarding audit of production product wise. Now, for this production, there will be production head. Yes or no? There will be production head. Similarly, there will be sales. For sales, there will be sales head. Similarly, for another cost element, suppose employees. For employees, there will be HR department head. For each and every cost element, there will be departmental head. So that departmental head will prepare the management information system report, in which all kinds of information which are needed for the management in case of decision making will be given. So the auditor has to collect management information system report and he has to do the analysis for that also. So all this will be done by the cost auditor when he is going for the analysis. So this has been tested in December 2024 attempt. Ma'am, these points are so tough. How will be able to remember? No option, no choice. You have to remember it. Handmade Heaven. Ma'am, are we covering workbook also, which is released by ICMAI? Ah, yes. Yes, mostly whatever questions are there, those questions are only there here also. You just focus on whatever questions which are given here. If it is required, then yes, we'll add those questions also. Mostly those questions are also covered in this workbook. So whatever the super 50 questions are there, if you're covering these super 50 questions, that is more than enough for your examination preparation. So this is regarding the audit checklist regarding the production for audit wise. Now, what is the next question which is tested? For audit of cost of electricity generated by DG set, which is called as diesel generator set. Now, what does it mean by diesel generator set? In case of big corporations or entities or industries, now they need a backup electricity supply. Yes or no? So now if they are putting a plant of generating electricity, like captive generating plant or something like that, now they have to incur more cost in generating electricity. Now what they can go for? They can go for DG set, which means they will try to put the inputs and through diesel they will try to generate the electricity. So electricity will be generated by a diesel. By doing the work on diesel, they will generate the electricity. So that is how electricity will be generated by a DG set. Now, if there is being electricity being generated, the cost has to be incurred for this DG set maintenance also. So in that case, what audit should be done? Periodic report of diesel generating set prepared by the head of DG set should be basis for finding the cost of electricity generated. Now, whoever the head is there, he will prepare a report. That report should be analyzed by the auditor to know what is the exact cost which is incurred to maintain that DG set. Ensure that monthly report contains the following information: number of hours DG set is operated, quantity of high-speed diesel used, and total units generated. Regarding all this, information should be there in this report which is collected from DG set head. Ensure that employee cost is properly booked and it pertaining to only those employees actually working in the DG set. Now, whoever employees are working in DG set, only that employee cost should be assigned to DG set. Ensure that cost of consumable stores and repairs is properly allocated. Pertains to costs actually incurred for DG set. If repairs are incurred for DG set, that repairs only will be assigned to DG set cost. If repairs are done combination of other production and DG set, that will not be assigned to the DG set. Only a part allocation will only be given to it. Ensure the correctness of depreciation and insurance. Whatever assets which are being used in DG set, only for those assets depreciation will be charged to DG set. Ensure that proper cost center is allocated to DG set. Generally, CMA department prepares expense control chart which lists out all the expenses incurred for the DG set. So most probably the cost of this DG set will be done by CMA department. They will prepare a report on it. So this is the different checklist which will be prepared by the auditor when he is going for audit program in case of cost of electricity generated by DG set. I hope it's clear. Now next, formulate audit checklist for auditing repairs and maintenance cost from the perspective of cost auditor. Now if the auditor is preparing checklist for repairs and maintenance. What all he is going to check? First, he will go cost center wise analysis. Obtain 5 years repairs and maintenance expenses for cost center wise. Now, what is called as cost center? The expenses will be incurred, the cost will be incurred on that particular cost center, but no direct revenue will be generated in the production. So indirect revenue may be generated, but directly revenue will not be generated in the production. We will not get the direct revenue. Such cost which we are incurring, which is in the process, it is called as a cost center. It can be a process, it can be a department, it can be an activity, it can be a production, product, service, whatever it is. If we are incurring a cost for it, but we are not getting a direct revenue generation from that, it is called as a cost center. For example, there is a R&D department. Now, in the entire production, when the entire production is happening, the cost will be incurred on R&D expenses also. But this R&D expenses, whatever we are incurring, does it have any relation with the production? No. R&D is parallelly working on some other products of this testing, something is happening there, but it is not directly related to the production. But the cost has to be incurred on yearly basis, on periodic basis, we have to incur the cost. So those costs which are being incurred on a department or activity or product or service, whatever it is, but we are not being able to directly generate the revenue from that, is called as a cost center. Now, the auditor has to obtain the 5 years repairs and maintenance expenses cost center wise from the CMA or finance department or ERP system. Identify cost centers contributing 70 to 75% of total expenses for focused cost control. Now, if our cost is 100 rupees and in this 100 rupees, 70 to 75% we are incurring only for cost center, which means we are not getting the direct revenue generation, which means we are lacking in the production. We are doing the production through which will determine the sale price. We will get the revenue. But if we are incurring more cost in cost center, which means we are not putting much cost in the production, will not get the direct revenue. Indirect revenue will get in the future. What's the use of that? We need revenue for running the business. So regarding that also, auditor has to prepare a checklist. Discuss substantial cost increases with cost center heads to prevent the reoccurrence. So in what areas the cost is getting increased? For cost centers, we need to try to reduce the cost and put that cost instead in the production to get the direct revenue generation. If anything cost is getting increased in cost center, then that has to be analyzed in case of cost auditor when he is doing the audit of repairs and maintenance. And product wise analysis. Gather 5-year product wise repairs and maintenance cost. Identify major cost fluctuations and discuss with the responsible cost center heads. If there is any increase in cost regarding reduction, he has to talk to the cost center heads. Correct booking of cost. Verify that major repairs and maintenance expenses are allocated to the correct cost center. Cost per metric ton analysis. Identify high per MT cost, which may indicate low capacity utilization. If you are incurring more cost, which means your capacity utilization is less. Always you need to have that particular capacity utilization. Highlight these issues to the management for corrective actions. Expense control chart review. Analyze plant-wise expenses and cross-check with the trial balance for accuracy. So whatever cost you have incurred and what is recorded in the trial balance, you will do the cross-check verification. So these are the checklists which are there for auditing repairs and maintenance cost. So I hope it's clear. Now we have discussed only 3 checklists, but we have around 16 checklists. All the checklists have to be revised by you. Now many students will have, ma'am, only for 5 points, 2 points, 3 points are given in your concept book. Is this more than enough for your examination? It is more than enough. Even if I'm giving 10, 12 points, it is only for book show of purpose. If I'm giving you 10 points, 12 points, 20 points, then what's use of it if you're not being able to remember it? Even if the question is being asked in the examination, you have to remember it. If I am giving you 5 points and 3 points, this is so hard to remember. If I'm giving you 10, 15, 20 points, then you will not be able to remember it. Try to remember this. If any question is being asked in the examination, then try to write what does it mean by cost audit program, what does it mean by checklist first, and then move to the checklist. Whatever points you have revised, 5 points, 4 points, 3 points, anything is more than enough. Write that and come perfectly, you will get the marks. You do not worry about it. So this is regarding the cost audit program. I hope it's clear. Do you have any more doubts from unit number 6 cost audit program? We have discussed question number 1 and I have given you the enough clarity for concept 3. I hope everything is clear. Any doubts? Guys, any doubts? Let me know in the chat box. Guys, I need a quick reply in the chat box. Pavan, Kumar, clear ma'am. Thank you, Pavan. What about others? Is everything clear? Do you have any doubts? Pavani, no doubts, ma'am. Thank you, Pavani. So yes, I guess everything is clear. Now we are moving on to the next unit of section A cost audit, which is unit 7, which is cost audit documentation, audit process and execution. Now, if you see this cost audit documentation, audit process and execution, we have only few concepts. We have around 4 concepts. That's it. We have only 4 concepts in our concept book, and in this 4 concepts, what are important? Stages of cost audit, we have 3 stages: planning stage, performing stage and reporting stage. Stages of cost audit are important, and whatever we are seeing in the audit process, now whatever we are seeing in the stages are the same repeated in the audit process also. Audit process will also be in 3 stages: planning phase, performing phase and reporting phase. And you have to remember the practical steps of audit process. So you have to remember only 2. One is stages of cost audit and stages of audit process, and then you will determine, you will remember the practical steps of audit process. These 2 concepts are more than enough for this particular unit. Now, in Super 50 questions, I have given question number 1. Now, what is question number 1? What are the 3 stages of audit? Analyze the 3 stages of audit. So, how many stages we have? This has been tested in June 2023 examination from concept 2. We have 3 stages: first stage, second stage and third stage, which is also a final stage. First stage is planning the audit, second is performing the audit, and third is concluding and reporting the audit. Now, what is called as planning the audit? Establish groundwork for an efficient and effective audit. For doing any particular thing, first you need to have a planning. Without planning, you can't do anything. So, first major step is planning. To lay the groundwork for an efficient and effective audit, you have to go for planning. And in this planning, what are the activities which are being going to be done? First, understanding about the entity. If you don't know what is the entity it is, in which industry it is coming, what are the policies which are applicable, what are the procedures if it applicable, if you don't know anything about it, what you will go and do the audit for? First, you need to know what is it. After that only you will be able to verify it. Understanding the entity. Gain insights into the entity's operations, industry and environment. Understand about everything in the organization. Then identify the risk. Assess factors that may increase the risk of material misstatements in the cost statements. So what are the risks which will have a direct impact in the material misstatements? Which means in the cost statements, there is some misstatement, because of which there is a material impact on the entire statements. Those kind of risks should be assessed first. Then risk and materiality assessment. Determine the significance of identified risk. I have identified many risks. Now, I think that this is the major and prioritized risk, and this is a low risk. Okay. If whatever the high risk is there, that will be prioritized first, and then it will be moved on to the lower risk. When audit is about to start, or when you are starting the audit, first you will start the analysis from the high risk objective. Then you will move on to the low risk. So you will do the risk and materiality assessment and developing audit strategy. Outline the nature and timing of audit procedures. In this audit strategy, what will be the nature, what will be the timing, what will be the scope of audit, what are you going to do, everything will be there in the cost audit strategy. Based on this strategy only, you will prepare a planning for audit. Importance. A well-planned audit optimizes the efficiency, which means time spent gathering evidence, and effectiveness, which means minimizing audit risk. It will help us in efficiency and effectiveness. What does it mean by efficiency? Whatever time spent, that will be reduced. What is called as effectiveness? Minimizing the audit risk, because we are identifying the risk and we also doing the risk assessment. Both will help us to reduce the risk. Ensure sufficient appropriate evidence is collected to reduce the risk of material misstatement. So all this will be done in the planning stage. What will be done? First, you will understand about the entity. Next, you will identify the risk. Then you will do the risk assessment. And then you will prepare an audit strategy. Based on this audit strategy, you will prepare a plan. That is what you're going to do. Then performing the audit. What does it mean by performing the audit? You've already prepared the plan. Now you're going to execute the plan. That is called as performing audit. How we are going to execute that audit plan? Based on trial and error basis. Execute the audit plan through detailed testing. Everything will be done in a testing manner. Now, if I know that you have done the examination, you have written your exam for cost audit and you have submitted your paper to me. Now, how will I do the analysis? Just like a robot, I'll do this and give it to you? No, I have to go on trial and error basis. Okay, this is the question for which this is the answer key. And based on this answer key, you have written this point. Okay, this point is right. This point may be right. This point, okay, we can adjust it. So based on trial and error basis, okay, this is right, this is wrong, this is right, this is wrong. Based on trial and error basis, I'll do the audit. Similarly, even a person as a cost auditor, he will do the audit on the same basis. He will not know what to do it. He will do the audit. He will verify each and everything and he will know about the each and every aspect or the cost element in the organization. First, he will test the internal controls. Now, what are internal controls? Security controls, policies and procedures within the organization to secure the entire organization. If relying on the client's internal control system, conduct tests to evaluate their effectiveness. If you are blindly depending upon the security practices which are maintained in the organization, then first analyze about the security. If you have got the confidence that, okay, they have better security system, I can entirely rely on it, then go with the same security system plan. Next, substantial testing should be done. Perform detailed tests on material consumption, cost accumulation, allocation, apportionment and absorption of cost. Regarding cost, how it will be accumulated, how it will be allocated, how it will be apportioned, how it will be absorbed. Regarding each and everything, you will do the testing. Then, end of report testing. Conduct substantive test of recorded consumptions and balance at the period's end. So, what is the opening balance? What is the closing balance? What is closing balance recorded in the books and what is the actual consumption which is available? Regarding each and everything, you will do it trial or error basis, which means based on testing, you will do the analysis. This is the second stage, which is executing the plan, performing stage. Importance. Detailed testing provides the necessary evidence to evaluate the fair presentation of the cost statements. To determine whether cost statements are true or fair, you have to do the analysis. Now, how you are going to do the analysis? By testing, which will be done in stage 2, performance. Now, stage 3, concluding and reporting. Draw conclusion and form an opinion on the cost statements. Key activities. First, you will evaluate the evidence. Analyze evidence gathered during the audit in the light of understanding of entity. So, first day itself you have understand regarding the entity. Based on that, you will determine whether whatever evidence gathered, is this sufficient to be given as a report? Or do I need to find more evidence? Is this evidence a valid evidence? Can entire organization rely on that particular evidence? You have to do the analysis. Then, you have to frame an opinion. Arrive at a conclusion regarding the fair presentation of cost statements. Whether cost statements are true or not true. You will get an opinion. Then, prepare a cost audit report. Express the auditor's opinion in a formal report. The auditor's opinion is based on the understanding of the client, the risk identified and the testing of controls and transaction. Based on all this, your auditor's opinion will depend upon. See, for example, if you and me are having a fight for 2-3 days and 4th day, your examination paper is coming in my hand and you are telling me to do the evaluation. Now, what will happen? Even without doing the evaluation, I'll strike it out everything. Yes or no? So I'm not telling that I'll do that, but this is how the human psychology is there. Even if it's a cost auditor or a crorepati, he will have a human set mindset itself. Now, what will happen? The auditor's opinion is based on the understanding of client. If when he is doing the understanding about the entity, if he has collected the evidence that this is a good entity, based on that only entire audit trial will be there. If he has come across any fraudulent activity in the inside the entity, he will think the entire company is fraud. Based on that only he will do the audit. And the risk identified. If he has identified the high risk, then everything will be on the doubtful manner. If he is having a low risk, he will go on a calm and chill basis. Testing the controls and transaction, meaning he is analyzing each and every transaction. If he has come across many errors, many frauds, many inefficiencies, then based on that only audit will be there in the entire trial process. So this is how the reporting will be given by the cost auditor. So these are the 3 stages of cost audit, which is important from unit number 7, cost audit documentation, audit process and execution. What are the 3 stages? Planning of audit, performing the audit and reporting, concluding and reporting on audit. I hope it's clear. So unit 7 is also clear. Now, when you are going for unit number 7, please do concept number 2 and also you will give a quick revision. I'm not telling you to go in detail like how we have discussed. Just give a book reading for practical steps of audit process. Now, whatever we have seen, the same will be there, but it will be categorized into 6 steps. Now, what are the 6 steps? First, you will understand about the objectives of audit and management outlook. Now, who are the management? What is the objectives of audit? Second, you will determine the preconditions, which means what will be a remuneration, what will be a scope, what work you are going to do regarding understanding of entity, regarding everything you will determine in second stage, precondition. How many auditors will be there? What is area, nature, scope? What will be the reporting period, statutory deadlines? Regarding all this, you will determine the second stage. Now, third, you will decide about the understanding of company's business. You will understand about each and every factor in the company. Then you will plan the audit. Then you will execute the audit. Then at last you will prepare an audit documentation. So these are the 6 steps which you have already discussed. Give a quick book reading. It is more than enough. I hope it's clear. So this is from unit number 7, cost audit documentation, audit process and execution. I hope unit 7 is clear. Do you have any doubts in this question? Guys, is everything clear? Can we move further? Pavan Kumar, no doubts, ma'am. Bhanu Teja, clear, ma'am. Thank you. Pavani, clear, ma'am. Thank you. Okay. Now we are moving on to the last final unit of section A, cost audit, which is a preparation and filing of cost audit report. Now we will see what are there in the preparation and filing of cost audit report. I have given question number 1 and concept number 5. So if we see concept 2 and 5 are there in the questions, super 50 questions. Now what is concept 2 and concept number 5? Now, preparation and filing of cost audit report. Concept 2, critical elements of cost audit report and related evidences, physical and digital regarding this. And concept number 5, steps for filing a cost audit report in XBRL format on MCA portal. So this is a important topic and important unit. So we'll discuss both the question concepts and then we'll move to the question which is there. Now what is concept number 2? Now what is there here? Whatever we have already discussed in cost audit. Now a cost auditor will be appointed by the board of directors and cost auditor will give a cost audit report in form CRA 3. After receiving in form CRA 3, within 30 days, the company has to file it with central government in form CRA4, and that will be done in XBRL format after receiving a signature from cost auditor, one company secretary, and at least one director. They will receive the signature, and that will be filed to the central government in form CRA4. So regarding that only it is there here. So you can see that. And before preparing the final cost audit report, the cost auditor will prepare a draft report. In that draft report, he will write all the evidences gathered, conclusions reached, observations regarding each and everything he will mention in the draft report. And this draft report will be given to the management. Management will do the analysis of that. If management want to give any justification and want to eliminate something from the cost audit report, then what will they do? They will go and talk to the cost auditor. They'll give their own justification and whatever they want to tell about that particular report. And if whatever sayings which has been said by the management, if cost auditor is satisfied with that, then he will drop that particular topic from the cost audit report. He will take that out. If he is not satisfied with the justification, then he will put that in the cost audit report. After that, after he will prepare draft report, then we will take the suggestions from the management. If anything is there, he will consider it, or else he will not consider it. After that, he will prepare a final report, and that will be given to the central government. I hope it's clear. So that is given in the last point. If the auditor is satisfied with the management response, they may choose to drop the issue. If not satisfied, the auditor may qualify the report regarding that specific issue. Now here qualify the report is there. So based on that also we have a topic, audit report. Audit report can be given in three forms. One is clean report, second is qualified report, and third is adverse report. Nothing but clean report is, which means entire statements are true and fair, nothing is error, nothing is fraud, nothing is there to be talking ineffective about. If everything is clean and clear, then he will give a clean report, which means the cost audit report will be given, or else he will give a qualified report. Now, what does it mean by qualified report? There is a misstatement in the cost statements. There is a misstatement in the cost information. But whatever the misstatement is there, that does not have a pervasive effect on the overall cost statements, which means it does not have any material effect, which means if this is happening, the entire cost statements are changing. No, it is not having that kind of effect. Even if there is a misstatement, only in one cost element, only in material, only in labor, only in overheads, there is a error. Other than that, everything cost statements are clean and clear. In that case, the cost auditor will give a qualified audit report. Now, when will adverse audit report will be given? There is a misstatement in cost information which is entirely affecting the cost statements, which means it is having a pervasive effect on the entire cost statements. If that's the case, then he will give an adverse audit report. So for this, you have to remember a term which is a key word, important word, which is called as pervasive effect. The misstatements does not have a pervasive effect on the overall cost statements, then the cost auditor will issue a qualified cost audit report. If it is having a pervasive effect, he will give an adverse audit report. This is, you have to remember it. Now coming to concept number 2. Critical elements of cost audit report and related evidences. Now, what is cost audit? You already know that. An audit focused on efficiency and detailed expenditure of an organization. Now, how organization is working in its cost. Regarding that, whatever verification is done, it is called as cost audit. As opposed to the financial audit, which reviews past performance. What will financial audit do? It will talk about past performance. What is cost audit? It will check about the how costs are being maintained in the organization. What are the objectives of cost audit? Verify the accuracy of cost accounting records. Certify adherence to costing principles. Now, whatever procedures, principles we have, that has to be complied with. Ensure compliance with predetermined cost accounting procedures. Detect intentional or unintentional errors or frauds in cost information. Validate that expenses related to goods manufactured are properly incurred. Assess the usefulness of cost records in managerial decision making. Now, whatever information is there in cost records, everything should be related to decision making. If information is not related to decision making, if it is not useful for decision making, which means it is not material. If it is not material, then don't include in the cost records itself. Identify inefficiencies in the use of material, labor and machinery. Aid external auditors by streamlining their work through the internal cost audit system. Which means whatever cost audit report you prepare, if you need assistance, you can take the assistance from the other external auditors. And whatever the report you prepare, this report should also be benefited to the other auditors. Enhance the efficiency of cost accounting practices. So all these are what? These are the objectives of cost audit. Now, while preparing cost auditor's report, what are the critical elements to be considered by the cost auditor? What are the critical elements he have to consider? He has to give a report on ideal machines and labor due to raw material shortage. Identify excess raw material inventory locking up working capital. Assess adequacy of cost records for audit purpose. Ensure compliance with management policies. Focus on production cost, profitability comparisons and operational efficiency. Analyze the reasons for any rise in production cost compared to the previous year and what is the reason behind it. Report on manufacturing wastage and suggestions for cost reduction. Confirm whether the cost statements provided true and fair view of production cost or not. Regarding all these are the critical elements which has to be considered when he is preparing a cost auditor's report. I hope it's clear. And what is the reporting process? Submit cost audit report in Form CRA4 to MCA portal within 30 days of receiving the audit report with full explanations, reservations, qualifications noted in the report. This integration aids companies in controlling operations more efficiently. So this is regarding the objectives and critical elements of cost auditor's report. Now what question is tested in the examination? The question tested in the examination is question number 1. Question number 1, which talks about describe the critical elements that must be stated in the cost auditor's report as per the applicable legal and regulatory requirements, which is MQP June 2025 question, which is upcoming mock question paper question. So first you have to write about the cost audit, then objectives of cost audit and critical elements in the cost audit report and reporting process. I hope it's clear. Ma'am, CMA Inter Marathon. Yes, CMA Inter Marathons are also coming. This is CMA Final Marathon. CMA Final Cost and Management Audit Marathon. This is not marathon, super 50 questions discussion. So this is regarding the question number 1, which you have to write it in the examination. I hope it's clear. Next. What is the next topic? Next topic is from concept number 5. Now what is concept number 5? This we have seen, and this is about XBRL and concept 5. Steps for filing cost audit report in XBRL format on MCA portal. Now how this XBRL will be filed in MCA portal? First, creation of XBRL instance document. First, whatever cost audit report is prepared, this cost audit report should be converted in XBRL format. After that only it will be filed in the MCA portal. Now how this will be turned out? First, you have to create the XBRL instance document. Now how the creation will be happen? 1, you can follow tagging and mapping method. Now what does it mean by tagging and mapping? Tag elements in the cost audit report with XBRL taxonomy elements. Now what does it called as costing taxonomy. Now taxonomy is nothing but a dictionary in which all cost elements necessary for the cost audit report will be there. It captures properties and interrelationships of cost elements to facilitate a reporting in XBRL format. Now, if I am writing about material, now how this material should be there in the XBRL format? Regarding that, it will be there in costing taxonomy, which are called as tags. So, for each and every cost element, for material, how it should be recorded. For labor, what is the element? For overheads, what is the element? If it is administrative, what it is? If it is production, what it is? If it is manufacturing, what it is? For each and every element of cost, each and every tag is given. That is called as costing taxonomy. It is given in a dictionary format. It is given in a format, PDF format, which is called as costing taxonomy. By using this costing taxonomy, we will tag each and every element of cost audit report with XBRL taxonomy elements. This is done using a specialized software. No manual, everything will be done in a software only. Then instance document, create an XML file. Now what is called as XML? Extensible markup language. Now if you are doing PDF format, now in PDF you can't do any changes, which means everything is formalized, yes or no? If you are using Word, now whatever the elements which are given in the Word, you can use that only, which means whatever the language which is used by the Word. Now if you see the lines, margins, whatever the elements which are given in the Word document, those are the languages in which the Word is being prepared. Similarly, the XBRL document is prepared in a language. Now, whatever the elements which are there in XBRL, those are in a language which is called as XML, which is Extensible Markup Language. In this language only XBRL format will be prepared. Now, XML file containing business reporting information. This document must not extend the core taxonomy. So, based on this taxonomy only, you will create an XML file. After that, document the validation. Ensure the instance document is valid and correctly capture all information using the MCA validation tool. Now, you have used the software. With this software, you have put the taxonomy tagging elements to this cost audit report. Based on this tagging, you have created an XML file. After creating XML file, you have to do the validation, which means you have to cross-verify it. Now, how you are going to cross-verify it? You don't know about anything. Everything you have taken from the costing taxonomy tagging elements. Now, how you are going to do it? We have a tool which is called as MCA validation tool. You will download this MCA XBRL validation tool from the MCA portal. And then after that, if you are using any LAN, which is network connectivity, configure the proxy settings. If you are using any LAN, if you are using any network, you will change the settings, and after that you will download the MCA XBRL validation tool to enable internet access for downloading the taxonomy. After that, use the tool to open the instance document. Company details can be found under the general information tab. Now, you already have XML file. To verify this XML file, you will download the MCA validation tool. You will upload this XML file in that, and you will use the tool to open the document. After that, you will verify all the details. Whatever the company details are there, whatever the information which is there in the cost audit report, you will verify everything. Ensure compliance with the latest taxonomy. All mandatory elements are filled and adherence to MCA business rules. Now, whatever information is there in the cost audit report, it is based on MCA rules. It is based on relevant taxonomy elements. All mandatory elements are given. You have to verify that. After that, perform pre-scrutiny to validate the instance document against the MCA 21 database. With this MCA validation tool, you will connect it with the MCA 21 database and you will do the pre-scrutinization. You will do the verification. After that, after doing verification, what you have to do? You have to convert it into PDF format. Use the tool export to PDF feature to check the readability and accuracy of this instance document. Now, whatever it is there in XML language, XBRL language, it is not in a readable format. So, even we understand what is there, we can't check it properly. So, what we have to do? We have to export in PDF so that we will be able to read it everything, so that everything is correctly or not. After converting it to PDF, you will verify it. If everything is proper, then complete the form. Attach the validate instance document. Now, whatever you have used the MCA validation tool and validated that particular document, that will be finalized and uploaded in the MCA portal. Pre-scrutinize the form, apply a valid digital signature and upload as per the usual e-forming filing process. So, this is how you will do the filing of cost audit report in XBRL format on MCA portal. I hope it's clear. These are the steps you will take up. First, you will use a tagging and mapping method, which means you will utilize a costing taxonomy, which is nothing but a dictionary of tagging elements. And using that dictionary costing taxonomy, you will tag the XBRL costing elements to your cost audit report cost elements. And after doing tagging and mapping, you will generate an XML file. After generating XML file, you have to do validation for that XML file. Now, how that validation will be done? You have to download MCA validation tool. MCA XBRL validation tool. You have to download it from MCA portal. After that, if you have any LAN connectivity or network connectivity issue, go for proxy settings and change the settings and download the costing taxonomy. And after that, what you have to do? You have to use the tool for opening the document. And whatever the verifications are there, you will do the verification. And that ensure that everything is done on latest taxonomy, all mandatory elements are filled, and adherence to MCA business rules are there. And then you will pre-scrutinize using a MCA 21 database. Then you will export it into PDF and check everything in the PDF format. If everything is clear, upload it. Now whatever validated XBRL document is there, that validated XBRL document will be uploaded with a digital signature in the MCA portal with the same usual e-form filing process. I hope everything is clear. So this is from steps for filing cost audit report in XBRL format. So this is concept number 5. I hope it's clear. What is the process to be followed to file? This has been tested in June 2024. This is what we have seen as concept number 5. So I hope it's clear. Now this is also completed. I hope everything is clear so far. So we have completed the entire section A cost audit. We have completed entire section A cost audit. Is everything clear so far? Whatever we have seen, is everything clear? Bhanuteja, yes ma'am. Is entire section A cost audit clear? Pavan, yes ma'am, clear. Thank you, Pavan. What about others? Is everything clear? Pavani, yes ma'am, clear. Thank you, Pavani. Now, we are going to move on to the section B, management audit. Now, we are moving on to section B, management audit. Now, in section B, management audit, we have 5 units, and in our today's session, current session, we are going for first 2 units, which is basics of management audit, management reporting issues and analysis. I hope it's clear. So we are going for first 2 units. Now, what is there in basics of management audit? Now, in this particular unit, we are going to see about the management audit. Now, in this basics, we are going to cover what is called as management audit, what are its objectives, what are its scope. Is management audit mandatory for all the companies? No, it is not mandatory. Now, what is called as management audit? Doing review, analysis and assessment or examination about the performance of entire management team. Now, in the organization, whatever the decisions are being taken are taken by the management. Now, management are playing a main important role in running the entire organization. Now, if management are taking the decisions, if organization is not working properly, if it is having a continuous losses, if it is not working effectively, nothing is being taken correctly in the organization, then will I be able to blame the management or not? Yes, because entire decisions are being taken by the management only. Now, if management performance is good, which means organization performance should also be good. If management performance is not good, which means organization is not performing well. So, to determine what is the financial position of organization, we have to first know what is the management performance. Now, if I am telling that my financial position of organization is very bad, now, as a management auditor, what you will assess? You will do the assessment. Now, what is the reason behind the inefficiency in the organization? What is the reason behind the lower financial position of the organization? Now, if the organization is having a lower production, I will do the analysis. As a management auditor, I will do the analysis whether it is because of internal reasons or external reasons. If it is based on external reasons, I'll prepare a management audit report and give it to the management and go off. And they will do the decision making and they will take these steps. Now, if it is due to internal reasons, I will do the verification. Now, who is behind this? If management is only behind this, which means management are not doing their work correctly, the error and fraud is happening inside the management, because of which the organization is not working. So, regarding this, whatever the analysis, review, assessment is being done is called as management audit. So it is nothing but an independent review, analysis, assessment of competencies and capabilities of company's management in carrying out their corporate objectives. Now, management audit is done to evaluate not individual performance, but to evaluate the entire management team performance effectively. So how the entire management team is working. Regarding that, if I am doing the evaluation, it is called as management audit. So whenever a question is being asked for management audit, this will be a definition. What is your definition for management audit? It is an independent review, analysis, assessment of competencies and capabilities of company's management in carrying out their objectives, corporate objectives. And management audit is not done to evaluate the individual performance, but to evaluate the management team's effectiveness towards understanding interest of stakeholders. Now, if I am having an organization, for my organization, I will have different interest groups. Now, who are called as interest groups for the organization? There will be customers, there will be shareholders, there will be investors, there will be vendors, suppliers. All these are interested persons of the organization. Now, for each and every person, there will be different interests. Now, for customers, what will they expect from the organization? Good quality of products in minimal price. They will expect that. Now, what will investors expect? They will need a proper return. They will expect that from the organization. Now, what will vendors and suppliers expect? Whatever the credit which is taken, the repayment should be done on a timely basis. Now, what will stakeholders or employees will need? Proper payment of their salaries on timely basis. If profits are there, they need bonus and incentives. So, for each and every interest group, there are different interests. Now, what management has to do work? Management has to understand the interest of different stakeholders. Based on that understanding, they have to take the decisions and they have to run the organization. Now, for example, if I am not satisfying customers, which means if I am not understanding what customers need, what customers want, I am doing based on my own analysis production. Now, is there any guarantee that that product what I am doing in the production, will customers buy that? No. If I am doing, see, for example, now it is summer. Yes or no? Now, if I am giving you in the 12 p.m. Now, the mid of afternoon 12 p.m. is there and you are roaming on roads on full heat. Now, if I am coming and giving you hot milk or hot tea or hot coffee, will you take that? No, because at that point of time, as a customer, you don't want hot items. You need cold items. You need ice cream or you need cold drink or you need any other juice item to relax your body, to relax your inside heat. So that is the want which is having for the different interest groups towards the organization. Now, if organization is not understanding the wants and doing whatever they want, organization will not run. Organization should understand the interest and based on that interest, they have to do the production. Only then they will get the return for that. So they have to understand the interest of stakeholders. Maintain good relationship with the employees. If they are not treating employees properly, employees will not do the work correctly. If employees are not working in the organization, the entire organization have to shut down. Uphold reputational standards. They have to do each and every work by holding the reputation. They have to keep in mind the reputation, the brand value, the goodwill of the organization. So based on this, the evaluation will be done to determine what is the management team performance towards understanding the interest of stakeholders, maintaining good relationship with the employees and upholding reputational standards. So I hope it's clear. So this is regarding the management audit. definition. You have to write this clearly when any question is being asked in the examination from management audit. What you'll write? Review. It is an independent review, analysis, assessment of competencies and capabilities of company's management in carrying out their corporate objectives. It is not done to evaluate the individual performance, but to evaluate the management team effectiveness in understanding the interest of stakeholders, in maintaining good relationship with employees, and upholding reputational standards. And when the management audit will be conducted? During merger, during business restructuring, bankruptcy, and succession planning. I am not telling that management audit will only be conducted in these cases. No, it will be definitely conducted when merger is happening, when business restructuring is happening, when bankruptcy is happening, and when succession planning is going on. In these particular cases, definitely management audit will be taken up by the organization. Now, this is what we have seen. Now, why management audit is necessary for an organization? For any organization, the main objective is maximizing the profit and minimizing the cost. So, if management audit is not done to improve the efficiency and profitability of organization by identifying the loopholes in the management practices. Now, how will I know to improve my profitability? By improving efficiency. Now, if I am improving the efficiency of management, if I am doing the evaluation of management or assessment of management, how will I be able to increase my profitability of organization? Now, who are all taking the decisions in the organization? Management. Now, they will decide what products to be produced. They will decide how much price that should be there for that particular product. They will decide how much cost should be there. They will decide what kind of resources should be utilized, how much it should be utilized. Each and every decision is taken by the management. Now, they are only directly related in the profitability. Yes or no? So, if one decision is not taken correctly, there will be no profits in the organization. So, if I do the evaluation of performance, then I will be able to determine my profitability. If there is any inefficiency in the management performance, I'll correct that immediately and increase my profits in the near future. By identifying the loopholes in the management practices. If there are any loopholes, I'll try to cover it up when I am doing management audit itself, and I will try to increase my profitability. So, by doing management audit, I will try to assess my inefficiencies in organization structure. If there are any outdated methods and practices, unnecessary process or steps, under or overutilization of resources. By doing management audit, I'll be able to evaluate all these. These are called as loopholes in the management structure. I'll be able to identify loopholes, which are all these things, and I'll try to reduce it and I'll increase my profitability. This is the entire management audit process which is being done. Now, who will conduct management audit? It is conducted by an independent person, sometimes internal employee. Internal employee can also conduct management audit. External person can also come and conduct the management audit. Now, who will decide whether internal person or external person? The company will only decide. Is it mandatory? No. Management audit is not mandatory under any statute. Organizations will decide whether they have to go for management audit or not. I hope so far it's clear. Now, major thing, which is also a question number 1, which is from concept 2, which has been tested in June 2024 examination and also a board material question. What is the top objectives of having a management audit? What are the objectives of management audit? Now, for writing what are the objectives of management audit, first you have to write what does it call as management audit. You will write this. To determine about the competencies and capabilities of company's management in carrying out their corporate objectives. Here we will evaluate the management team's effectiveness by looking into the factors of understanding the interest of stakeholders, maintaining good relationship of employees, upholding reputational standards. And you will write, I'll be able to identify the loopholes. What kind of loopholes? Inefficiencies in structure, outdated methods and practices, unnecessary process or steps, under or overutilization of resources. These are the different loopholes which are there in the management practices. I'll be able to identify them by doing management audit. I'll try to cover these loopholes and I'll increase my profitability of organization. This is the entire process of management audit. Now, then you will move on to the objectives of management audit. Now, what are the objectives? It will help us in decision making. Now, if I am taking decisions by doing management audit, I will know whether the decision which is taken by the management is right or wrong. If it is wrong, then I'll take a better decision. If it is right, then I'll try to make much more better decision or same the relevant decision on the other date also. So it will help in decision making. So what should be done in the future periods, how this should be rectified, how this should be corrected in the future. We will be able to determine the decision making process. It will give suggestions for the management to get the desired results. Now, in case of merger, now we have already seen management audit will also be considered in case of merger, in case of bankruptcy, in case of succession planning. Now, in case of merger, what do they want? They want collaboration between two companies. By management audit, they'll get the desired results. In succession planning, they'll get a clear-cut idea who needs to have a succession, who needs to carry out the business after the next period. From next period, who will carry out the business? They will get a clear-cut idea about the desired results, and it will help in decision making. Reveals defects and irregularities in the process of management. By doing management audit, I'll be able to identify the loopholes, which means I am trying to find out the defects and irregularities in the process. Helps management to effectively discharge duties and responsibilities. If they are not working properly, which means management are not working properly, I'll be able to identify it by doing management audit. And if I am doing management audit and if I am determining that management is not working properly, then they will try to improve their duties and responsibilities. Helps to identify gaps and loopholes and strengthen the internal controls. So these internal controls are built by management, which means policies and procedures inside the organization. Now, if internal controls are weak, management are not performing well, I'll be able to identify the internal controls, gap and loopholes, and I'll try to build and strengthen the internal controls. Suggest appropriate cost-effective implementations of plans. I'll try to improve the plan's effectiveness. So all these are the objectives of management audit. What are those? Helps in decision making, gives suggestions for management to get desired results, reveals defects and irregularities in process of management, helps management to effectively discharge duties and responsibilities, helps to identify gaps and loopholes and strengthen the internal controls, suggest appropriate cost-effective implementation of plans. So all these are the objectives of management audit. I hope it's clear. So this you have to write it in the examination about objectives of management audit. I hope it's clear. Now, so this is what we have seen. Then we will give a quick revision about all this management audit because many of you have requested me for that regarding management audit concepts. Now coming to the major important point. Now, what is the scope of management audit? Now, what does it called as scope? Coverage. In management audit, I'll be able to determine your performance. I'll be able to identify the loopholes. I'll be able to determine whether management is performing well or not. Okay. These are okay. This I have understood. But what is the scope? Other than that, is there any coverage for the management audit? Yes, it is there. We will be able to evaluate whether current structure aligns with the organization goals. Which means now whatever the organization structure is there, that has been built by the management. Whether this organization structure will help me to meet the organization objective or not. Regarding that, I will be able to assess. Develops interdepartmental coordination to achieve the management objectives. Now, what does it call as interdepartmental coordination? Inside the entire organization, there will be different departments. Yes or no? Now, each and every department is connected with the other department. We can't tell that each and every department is different. No. If HR department is not there, who will give the payments? If production department is not there, who will do the work? If after production, if selling and distribution department is not there, who will do the sales? If marketing department is not there, who will improve the products demand? No, each and every department is connected with the entire production. Now, if by doing management audit, I'll be able to develop the interdepartmental coordination to achieve the management objectives. Sujit, ICMAI released workbook of cost audit problems discussed in ma'am. Yes, Sujit, whatever problems which are there in workbook, that will also be discussed. So the structure for the risk management, I'll do the risk management analysis, review management interaction with stakeholders and customers, evaluate projects and budgets, and fixes the appropriate methodologies. So all these are the scope of management audit, which means it covers everything. I hope it's clear. Now, who is qualified to be conducting a management audit? I have already told you, internal employee or external employee can go for management audit. Now, if internal employee is there, cost accountant can be doing a management audit. Now, whether cost accountant, he is an internal or external cost accountant, that will be decided by company. Now, if they are not going for cost accountant, then company can go for audit team approach, which means a group of people will be brought together. In that group of people, who all will be there? A cost accountant, either an internal or external, an industrial or production engineer, an economist, and a social scientist. With this 4 group of people, an audit team will be formed, and that team will do the management audit. So these are the qualifications of conducting a management audit. Now, what are the qualities of good management auditor? If these qualities are there, then that particular person will be called as a good management auditor. Now, I have categorized these qualities into 4. First is, he needs to have an knowledge and experience about his own managerial functions, which means what he is going to do. What are his own functions? What are his responsibilities? What are his duties? What are his rights? He need to understand and he need to have experience about that. That is the first main thing. Second, he needs to have the experience and knowledge to understand what is the reason behind the lack of coordination between departments. Now, when we were discussing scope of management audit, we have discussed a point called as it will help us to develop the interdepartmental coordination to achieve the management objectives. Now, if there is no interdepartmental coordination, then what is the reason behind that? That should be understood by the management auditor. And he should have a subjective knowledge in finance, cost statements, analysis, techniques, economics, business laws. In all the subjective subjects, he needs to have a knowledge. And he needs to have understanding and knowledge about the organization, about organization structure, how decisions are being taken, organization problems and workings, all process and controls in the organization, objectives of organization, planning, budget, rules, procedures, entire production process. This is the entire understanding of entity. So if all these qualities are there, then he is called as a good management auditor. First, he needs to have understanding about his own functions. Then he needs to have the understanding about the reason behind the lack of interdepartmental coordination. He needs to have subjective knowledge and he needs to have understanding about the entity. So these are the qualities of good management auditor. I hope it's clear. Now, what are the advantages of management audit? It will help management to make plans and policies with more objectivity. So, whatever the plans and policies are there, they will be able to make it more effectively, aligns efforts for achieving the objectives of management. Now, whatever objectives of management are there, for that how much efforts they have to put in, that will also be determined. Helps management by providing inputs on process gaps and a way forward to improve and evaluate the performance of management. When we were doing management audit, we will be able to identify what are the gaps and loopholes in the entire structure. By determining the loopholes and gaps, we will try to cover it up and we will try to improve the performance of management. It helps to utilize the resources effectively and improve the planning. Optimum utilization of resources will also be there. So these are the advantages of management audit. It will help us in preparing better plans and policies. It will help management to put more efforts for bringing objectives of management. It will help to identify the gaps and loopholes and improve the performance, and it will help in optimum utilization of resources. These are the advantages of management audit. I hope it's clear. Now, what are the functions of management audit? What are the functions? There are some complex tasks in the management audit. Now, if a management auditor is there and even if it is an internal employee or an external employee, now a person is being appointed as a management auditor. Now, he will do the assessment about the management and he will tell whether they are performing correctly or not. Even a person is being appointed by the company itself to do the assessment about management performance. there is a risk in that. There is a complex task as a function of management audit. Now, what is that complex task? Auditors must carefully identify the roles to perform while dealing with the top management. When they are dealing with the top management, they have to decide and identify what role they play when they are dealing with the top management. Because if they are going casually and talking to the top management and telling that your management is not working properly, they will not take it up like that. You have to give valid proofs. You have to give verified data. Based on that, you have to make them trust that yes, management are not working properly. If you're just randomly telling, they'll not listen. So it is a complex task to make them prove that the management is lacking behind. Identify areas for review and assistance, linking performance standards with the responsibilities. Now, whatever the areas are there, to identify the areas to link both the performance with the responsibility. Now, if you're doing something, you have to do it because of your responsibility. Randomly, if you're doing any work, taking decisions and implementing it, that will not work out. Now, how the work should be done based on the responsibility, management has to decide what will be the performance. To identify the area in reviewing the performance standard with the responsibility, it is a complex task. After proper evaluation, to give valuable suggestions. Now, giving suggestion, how it is a complex task? Because you are giving suggestion to a top management. You are telling that they are wrong and they have to correct it. Now, to make them clear that they are wrong, to make them understand that they are lacking behind, that is a complex task. So, all these are functions of management audit. So, there is a wider scope also. It will also cover about marketing, manufacturing, product management, finance and personnel management. Everything is covered in management audit. I hope it's clear. Now, what is periodicity of management audit? When it will be done? It is not a one-time process. It is a continuous improvement tool. Can be performed at any time, not just during major transitions like merger acquisitions, succession planning, during business restructuring and bankruptcy. In this cases, definitely it will be done. Other than that, continuous improvement tool. So, whenever management want, they can do it. It will be there in three kinds. First, annual audit can be done. What is mean by annual audit? After completion of each financial statements, they will go for the audit. It is called as annual audit. They can go for long-term audit by taking 3 to 5 years of policies. If they are doing audit, it is called as long-term audit. Or they can go for follow-up audit, which means yearly follow-up to monitor the process. So, yearly if they are doing it, is called as a follow-up audit. So, periodicity of audit is done in three cases. Management audit can be done verification as annual audit, long-term audit or follow-up audit. So, these are the steps in management audit. Now, if you see what are the concepts which are given here. So, we have seen so far introduction we have covered. We have seen the objectives. We have seen the scope, nature and scope. We have seen who is qualified, cost accountant, internal or external, and audit team approach. And we have seen qualities. We have seen need for management audit, why management should be done. Then we have seen advantages and functions. Then we have seen periodicity and steps in management audit. Now, what are the steps in management audit? First, understanding what is the objective and scope of management. Select a specific area of management to review. For what purpose you are doing. Whether you are checking whether management are not performing well. Whether you are checking about the outdated methods or technologies. Whether you are going to check about the production process. Regarding what purpose you are doing the management audit. You will determine what is the objective and scope. Second, document collection. For doing audit, you need information, you need records, you will collect the information. Gather documents and data and apprise management about gaps and recommendations. Then performance evaluation. When doing performance evaluation, you will come across two questions. First, is target too ambitious? Will failure from target cost the organization? So regarding these two questions, you will do the analysis when you are going for step 3, performance evaluation. Then step 4, assessment of achievement. Review actions taken to meet the standards or targets. Then 5th is detailed investigation. Collect evidence as audit findings. Then 6th is reporting the findings. Prepare report of findings and give recommendations to the improvement. So all these are the steps in management audit. Step 1, understanding objective and scope. Step 2, document collection. Step 3, performance evaluation. Step 4, assessment of achievement. Step 5, detailed investigation. And step 6, reporting findings. So these are the steps in management audit. I hope it's clear. So now in Super 50 questions, what I have given? I have given concept 11 and 12 as the important concepts. Now, concept 11. What is called as management audit program? As we have seen, cost audit program. Now, what is cost audit program? A predetermined plan of how the entire cost audit will be done. It is called as cost audit program. Similarly, management audit program is called as a pre-planned course of action. We are planning everything priorly. It is called as management audit program. A management audit program is a pre-planned course of action outlining the areas to be covered in the audit. It helps auditors focus on either the entire organization or a specific area. So we are pre-planning everything priorly itself. What should be done in the management audit? How the audit should be conducted? We are pre-planning itself. When this planning is being done, the management auditor will get the idea whether he has to focus on entire organization or a specific area. So planning of outcomes for whole process of procedures from beginning till the end. It is a plan of action drawn in advance of starting an actual audit. It helps auditors to focus on entire organization or any specific area. So it is called as management audit program. Now, what is management audit program structure? First, you'll understand organization setup and functions. Then review organization objectives. Discuss plans with the senior management. You will sit with the senior management and decide, okay, this is how management audit is going to be done. We are going to do the evaluation in this way. Then evaluate policies to achieve the objectives. What are the policies? Review current operations. Discuss areas needing improvement. Give suggestions for improvement in the operations and decision making process. This is the entire structure of management audit program. This is how the entire pre-planned action will be there. First, you'll understand organization setup and functions. Then review organization objectives. Discuss plans with senior management. Evaluate policies to achieve the objectives. Review current operations. Discuss areas needing improvement. Give suggestions for improvement in operations and decision making process. I hope it's clear. Now, how you are going to fix a effective or efficient management audit program? Factors for framing efficient management audit program. For doing pre-planning of management audit, what are the factors which you are going to consider? First, name and address of the company. Second, operations, whether it is unit or section-wise operations. Dates or duration of audit. What is the planned date? What is the revised date? What is the actual date? Names of auditors. Who are the planned auditors and who are the revised auditors? And we have seen here the discussion of plans with the senior management. In the structure, whatever the planning is done, that has to be discussed with the senior management. Now, to whom it has planned to discuss with, to whom it has actually discussed. What it is reviewed. Reviewed by whom? Planning and actual. So, all these are the factors for framing efficient management audit program. So, this you have to write regarding the management audit program. So, we'll write about the management audit program. This is the structure of management audit program and factors for framing an efficient management audit program. I hope it's clear. So, this you will write. Concept number 11. I hope concept number 11 is clear. Now, concept number 13. Concept number 13, management audit report. Now, after completion of entire evaluation of management, a report should be given by the management auditor. Now, how management auditor will give a report? How the management audit report should be there? Management audit report. Now, what is called as a management audit report? It is a reflection of quality of review performed in various areas. It motivates the management to get a required result. Now, whatever the audit was done, the reflection of audit is called as management audit report. In the entire audit, whatever the verification is done, whatever the opinion is gathered, whatever the evidence is collected, Regarding that, they will prepare a report. So it is called as a reflection of entire audit process. It is called as management audit report. Now, how the management audit report should be there? The characteristics of good management audit report. First, there should be pertinence, which means relevant to current issue and content. The audit report should be relevant to current issue and content. Comprehensiveness. It should cover all aspects of audit. Brevity. Concise yet informative should be there. Timeliness. Prepare and deliver at right time to help in the decision making. Motivating. Improve actions and motivates the management. So these are the characteristics of good management audit report. Pertinence, comprehensiveness, brevity, timeliness, motivating. So these are the good characteristics of management audit. Now, in management audit report, what are the key components of management audit report? Now, what does it mean by key components? In this management audit report, what all information should be given on a prior basis? First, it should focus on deviations from the established process. Now, whatever the objective of organization is fixed, based on that only management are performing or not. Regarding that, you have to have a focus. Then, unauthorized activities. Unauthorized activities, whether whatever activities are being done in the organization, whether for each and everything the authorization has been taken by the management or not. Yashwant, ma'am, capsule management audit is not available. Which capsule you are talking about? Is it hard copy or soft copy? So whatever course which has created in the yesterday's link, is that what you're talking about? Next, performance issues. What are the performance issues with the management? Areas for improvement. How the performance can be improved by the management. Regarding all this, the focus will be there. And this management audit report will create benchmark, compare with the industry norms to identify scope of improvement. Now, whatever the performance which is done, the performance of management will be compared with the industry perspective. Yashwant, soft copy. In the link, management audit is not uploaded. Huh? Okay, Yashwant, I think there is some kind of technical glitch. Maybe the MB of this particular soft copy may be so much, so it is not being shown to you. I'll recheck it after the class. I'll make it available. Okay, I've uploaded all the soft copies. I'll recheck it again, Yashwant. Okay. Create benchmarking, compare with the industry norms and identify the scope for improvement. You will recheck whatever the management audit is there, whether it is matching with the industry norms. Address fraudulent activities, reputational risk, inefficiencies in control measures. You will address all this. Focus on facts, responsible persons, deviations and financial impact. So all this will be considered in management audit report. Okay, ma'am. Thank you. You're welcome, Yashwant. Now, management audit report should cover. It should highlight weak areas and suggest for improvement. For improving the performance only, we are doing the management audit. So, management audit report should help us to improve the performance of management. It should review stakeholder relationship and how benefits are being passed on. Details regarding methods and procedures involved in the production. Now, how production is being done, whether it can be improved or not. Regarding all that, management audit report should cover. Important considerations when writing a report. How a report should be given. Use simple language. Avoid technical terms. Ensure clear communication. Organize content for easy navigation and understanding. Even for yourself or for any other person, it should be very easy to navigate. Choose data relevant for the report. This we have already seen in the characteristics. Pertinence. Whatever the relevant for current issue is there. Regarding that only the report should be there. Use standardized format that helps both auditor in drafting and the recipient in reading. Always use a standardized format. Whatever format you are using, that format should be helpful for both auditor as well as the recipient. So these are regarding the management audit report. So in this management audit, what all you have to remember? You have to remember the majorly importantly characteristics. Pertinence, comprehensiveness, brevity, timeliness and motivating. And then what are the key components management audit report should cover? Important considerations for writing the report. This is for management audit report. And in case of management audit program, we have two. What is management audit program? then management audit program structure and factors for framing an efficient management audit program. Other than that, whatever we have seen about the what is management audit, what are the objectives of management audit, scope of management audit, who will do the management audit, which means who is qualified to be doing management audit, what are the good qualities of good management auditor. Then we have seen about the periodicity of management audit. Then we have seen the steps in management audit. So these concepts are very important from basics of management audit. In Super 50 questions, I have given first question as objectives of management audit, and I have given two concepts, which is concept number 11 and 13. Concept 11 is about management audit program, and concept number 13 is about management audit report. I hope it's clear. Basics of management audit. We have done with basics of management audit. Is it clear? Do you have any doubts in basics of management audit? Guys, is everything clear? Any doubts in basics of management audit? Clear, ma'am. Bhanuteja, clear, ma'am. Pavan, clear, ma'am. Okay, thank you. Pavan Kumar, ma'am, difference between Super 50 and Headshot 100 questions. In Headshot 100 questions, 100 important questions are given. In Super 50 questions, 50 important questions are given. That is the main difference. Syam Priya, clear, ma'am. That is the difference, no much difference. Now what you have to depend upon, that's up to you. If you want more important questions, then you can depend on Headshot 100 questions. If you want 50 important questions, then depend on Super 50 important questions. That's it. Now whatever concepts I have given in Super 50 questions and whatever concepts I have covered in Headshot 100 questions, both are same. But from that concepts, in Headshot 100 questions, I have given extra 2-3 questions. I have eliminated the repetitive questions and I have given in Super 50 questions. That's it. Concepts importance are both same in Super 50 and Headshot 100. Pavan Kumar. Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. So I hope basics of management audit is clear to you. Now, we are moving on to the main important unit from section B management audit, which is management reporting issues and analysis. Now, in this unit, what we are going to see? Management reporting issues and analysis. Now, what does it mean by management reporting issues and analysis? In first unit, basics of management audit, we have seen that the analysis will be done by the management auditor to check about the management performance. So, how the management are performing? Regarding that, verification will be done by the management auditor. That is called as management audit. Now, if management auditor has to do the verification, he needs to have some record. He needs to have some statement in his hand. If he has books, then he will do the verification. As we see cost audit. For doing cost audit, what are the books of accounts? Cost records and cost statements. For doing financial audit, financial statements are the records. For doing management audit, what are the statements? Where are the statements? So that statements will be provided by management reporting. Now, what is this management reporting? The report which is prepared by the management itself. Now, in this report, what management will write about? The management will do the analysis of key business metrics. Now, what are these key business metrics? We have different key business metrics in the, now I have given the entire concept number 9. We will see that. I'll give you enough clarity about it. Management reporting issues and analysis. I've given manpower analysis to be the major important. Now, Super 50 I have given management manpower analysis because that has been frequently tested in the examination. I have given in the Super 50. Now, this management reporting issues and analysis. Now, whatever management is there, they will do the analysis. Now, this analysis will be done on what? On key business metrics. Now, what are these key business metrics on which the entire organization will run? For example, performance analysis to know what is the business success. If it is having profits, if it is having losses. Capacity utilization analysis to know how effectively resources are being utilized in the organization. Productivity and efficiency analysis to evaluate workforce and process effectiveness, how process effectively are being made. Utilities and energy efficiency, controlling operational cost. Now, this utilities, energy are used in the production. Now, how much utilities cost is being incurred by the organization? Whether I will be able to reduce the cost regarding that. Contribution analysis, identifying how different products or services contribute to the profit. How each and every product will give my contribution towards profit. That is contribution analysis. Next, profitability analysis, assessing financial success. Working capital and liquidity analysis. How much should be my working capital? What will be my liquidity analysis? Manpower analysis and HR demand forecasting. I have given this to be Super 50 because this has been asked many number of times. And management accounting tools. So these are the different key business metrics on which the entire organization will work on. So whatever management is there, management will work on these issues and do the analysis for this key business metrics. And after doing the analysis, management will prepare a report which is called as management reporting. For what purpose they are preparing the report? For decision making purpose. So after doing the analysis of each and every key business metric, they'll prepare a report. By looking into that report, they will take the decisions. So how the organization should work? What could be the decision to improve the organization, to improve revenue, to reduce cost? What should be taken care of? They will discuss about everything by looking into this management reporting. Now, when a management auditor is being appointed in the company, he needs to have some records in hand. Yes or no? Now, for these records, where he will go? He will go to the management itself. Whatever they have prepared to be management reporting, he will collect that and he will do the analysis about the management reporting. In this management reporting, they have done the analysis of each and every key business metric. Now, based on this key business metric analysis, what is the decision taken? Whether analysis is done correctly, whether decision is taken correctly, whether the organization is working correctly or not. Regarding this, the analysis will be done by the management auditor, which is called as management audit. I hope it's clear. So that's what we have in this entire unit called as management reporting issues and analysis. If you have still confusion, you can go through this. Then you will get enough clarity about the management reporting issues and analysis. Now, what you have to majorly remember about this management reporting. Now, what is called as reporting? Any communication between two parties regarding some related information. It is called as reporting. Now, what is management reporting? Process of providing information to the management is called as management reporting. Now, for decision making purpose, management reporting is given to the management. In this, what information will be there? Key business metrics information will be there. Now, what are key different metrics? We have different key business metrics which we are going to cover under this particular unit. Now, what are the types of reports? Type of reports can be based on management requirement. If CEO is there, he needs daily collection report. How much is my daily collection? If national sales head is there, he needs SKU wise report, which means stock keeping unit wise report. How much stock is available? How much stock is needed more? Production head is there. Hourly production report he needs. If national plant head is there, he needs a report from each and every branch. So, what is the management is there? Based on the management requirement, the type of report will differ. And what is the duration of report and what is the frequency of report? It is also based on organizational hierarchy. See, if managing director, if CEO is there, he needs daily collection report. So, what is the frequency of report? Daily report. If Production head is there. He needs hourly production report. What is the frequency? Hourly, the report should be given. Now, similarly, MD is there. He needs monthly cost records. If costing head is there, he needs check product performance of each individual plant on hourly basis. They need a report. So, based on organizational hierarchy, frequency of report will differ. Now, what are the characteristics of management report? This management report can be of three kinds. First, financial report. Second, informational report. And third is control report. Now, what is financial report? If it is prepared based on past period analysis, usually compared with prior periods. If it includes cash flows and borrowing cost. If it includes performance report against the budget. Budget is also there. Based on that comparison, if you are preparing a performance report. If all these three are there, then it is called as financial report. What is called as informational report? Informational report is of three categories. First is trend report. If I am preparing a report based on the frequent trends, it is called as trend report. Second, analytical report. If I am comparing two different activities and if I am giving a report, it is called as analytical report. Third is activity report. If I am focusing on one activity and giving a report, it is called as activity report. So these are the informational reports. And next is control report. Assess the performance of various responsibility centers within the organization. So what are the different cost centers are there and how it is being controlled. For that, if I am preparing a report, it is called as control report. So these are the characteristics of management report. I hope it's clear. Now, how many types of report are there? Two types of report are based on nature, based on functional activity. Based on nature, it is again categorized into two. One is enterprise report and next is investigative report. Now, what does it called as enterprise report? Enterprise report provides detailed description of operating activities and financial position intended for external users by bankers or shareholders. So, regarding entire organization, if I am summarizing and giving a report which is useful by the external parties, then it is called as enterprise report. Now, what is investigative report? For finding out something as a report of investigation, if I am preparing a report, it is called as investigative report. Created to investigate specific problem as there arise. I am only doing the analysis about a problem and for that I am doing verification and for that I am giving a report which is called as investigative report. Or else it could be functional classification. That is also categorized into two. One is individual activity report. Next is joint activity report. Individual activity report. If single department under supervision of one executive. If single department, one executive is there, if they are preparing a report, it is called as individual activity report. Now, what is called as joint activity report? Multiple departments collaborated for doing a project and they are preparing a report. It is called as joint activity report. So, these are the types of reports. How many types are there? Two types. Based on nature, based on functional activity. Based on nature, again categorized into enterprise report, investigative report. Based on functional activity, again categorized into two. Individual activity report and joint activity report. I hope everything is clear so far. Now, we are moving on to key business metrics. Now, in this key business metrics, what all are important? Majorly, you have to focus on the manpower analysis. We will see the manpower analysis. Before that, we will give a quick revision of another analysis. Whatever the different analyses are there, I'll give a quick revision about it. Why revision is being given as even if it is not there in the Super 50 questions? Because that is also important concept. Even if I'm not given a question in Super 50, you have to give a quick revision before you analysis and will majorly focus on manpower analysis. I hope it's clear. So far, any doubts? Is everything clear? So far, is it clear? We have started unit 2. We have seen the introduction and now we are going on to key business metrics which are important for examination. Is it clear so far? Just give me a quick reply in the chat box. Banu Teja. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Banu. What about others? Is it clear so far? Do you have any doubts? Only reactions, huh? Now, Pavan. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Pavan. Now, we are moving on to the next analysis. Priya, clear, ma'am. Thank you, Priya. Now, we are moving on to the major key business metric analysis. First is performance analysis. Now, what we are going to do with performance analysis? It is nothing but a critical evaluation of how effectively individual or organization is achieving the goals within specified time frame. So, there is a time frame. In this time frame, how individual or organization are performing. To do the analysis of that is called as performance analysis. Why we are doing performance analysis? To help identify the deviation from the projected metrics. Now, what does it mean by projected metrics? We are priorly fixing that this is my performance. See, for example, if you are aiming 80 marks in the cost and management audit, then that is your performance metric. That is your standard which you have already fixed. Now, what is performance analysis? After writing your examination, you will come home and do the assessment about, evaluation about how many marks you will get in the examination. You are evaluating about achieving the goals in a specified time frame by an individual. How effectively you have done it. Now, you will do the analysis. You will calculate the marks. Yes or no? Now, by calculating marks, you will identify whether you have deviated from the projected metrics or you are on the straight path. Okay, if you are aiming for 80 marks, you have to study the same way you have to achieve the 80 marks. If you have to achieve 80 marks, then if you are leaving entire management audit topic, if you are entirely leaving section D and only focusing on A and section C, will you get the 80 marks? No, you will not get the 80 marks. So if you need 80 marks, you have to follow the right path. So helps in identifying the deviation from the projected metrics and helps in decision making to prevent the potential failure. So now itself I'll be able to identify the deviation. If deviation is there, I'll correct it and I'll prevent it from the potential failure. So this is why performance analysis has to be done in the organization. Now, what are the key components of performance analysis? These key components can also be dealt as factors for performance analysis. Now, what are these factors? First is performance metrics and goals. First, fix what is your metric. First, fix what is your performance goal. I have to achieve this. This is my goal. This is your performance goal. First, you have to determine what is the performance metric and goal of an organization. Second, parameters for measurement. How you are going to determine that particular performance, how you are going to calculate it, what is the unit of measurement which you are going to take it as calculation purpose, parameters for measurement. Then historical comparison, previously what was your performance goal, how did you achieve it, how did you calculate it, now what is your goal, how you are going to achieve it. Do the historical comparison with past period analysis. Then actual delivery measurement. What is your goal? What was your actual delivery? Time frame consistency. How much time did you take for actual delivery? If there is a deviation from the performance metric and the actual delivery, then what is the root cause analysis and feedback mechanism? So these are the key components of performance analysis. First, you will determine goal. Then you will decide what is the parameter for measurement. Then you will do the historical comparison. Then you will determine what is actual delivery and what is the time frame consistency. If there is deviation from performance and actual, which means metric and actual, what is the root cause analysis, and then you will at last give a feedback mechanism. I hope it's clear. So this is about the performance analysis. If any question from performance analysis is given, write these points. That is more than enough. You will get 7 marks. Don't worry about anything. I hope it's clear. Now, next is capacity utilization analysis. Now, what is called as capacity utilization analysis? How much of company's production capacity is being used at a given time compared to maximum potential. Now, how we will be able to determine maximum potential? We already have a concept. in capacity determination, which is called as installed capacity. Now, what is installed capacity? Installed capacity is my maximum potential. Now, in this maximum potential, how much my company production capacity is being used, which means what is my actual capacity? What is my actual capacity? It is a measure. Now, what we are measuring? How much is my company's production? How much is my actual capacity being used at a given time compared to its installed capacity? From this 100% maximum output, how much I am utilizing my capacity? For this measurement, whatever analysis we are taking, it is called as capacity utilization analysis. I hope it's clear. It reflects the efficiency with which a business uses its resources such as machinery, labor and raw materials to produce the goods. To produce goods, how effectively I am using the resources, how much capacity I am utilizing. Regarding that, if I am doing the analysis, it is called as capacity utilization analysis. Now, how we are going to calculate capacity utilization? Actual level of output divided by maximum level of output into 100. Actual capacity divided by installed capacity into 100. This is how I am going to determine my capacity utilization. Now, what is the importance of capacity utilization? Now, by doing this capacity utilization, I will be able to determine how effectively management has utilized the resources. Now, what are these resources? Nothing but capacity. If I am using capacity utilization, how optimum utilization of resources are there within the organization, I will be able to find it out. What are the resources? Includes plant and machinery, building, land, raw materials, manpower and utilities. How well these resources are being utilized by the management, I'll be able to determine by doing capacity utilization analysis. Now, if I am calculating capacity utilization analysis, if I am utilizing higher capacity, will there be any advantage? Yes. Even if you are going for higher capacity utilization, which means if you are exceeding your maximum potential, going more than installed capacity. Installed capacity is my maximum production, which is achievable by me. But I am going beyond installed capacity. Will that be an advantageous for me? Yes, it is advantageous only in two cases. One, if you are utilizing resources in a much better availability. If you are better utilizing the resources, then it is beneficial. Second, if you are trying to reduce per unit fixed cost, leading to improved profitability. If you are reducing per unit fixed cost, which will increase your profitability of the organization, then installed capacity, even if it is higher installed capacity, it is okay. So advantages of higher capacity utilization only in two cases. If you are using resources in a better way, or if you are trying to reduce the cost and increase the profitability, then you can go for higher capacity utilization. Now, what if you have a lower capacity utilization? You have to decide what is the reason behind lower capacity utilization and try to rectify it. Now, if your lower capacity is because of machine breakdown, improve maintenance schedules to minimize the downtime. Improve maintenance. If you have no market share, losing market share, then what is the reason behind losing market share? Go for R&D development. Invest in R&D. If non-availability of key raw materials, if key raw materials are not there, change the supplier. If you don't want supplier itself, do in-house production. If there is non-availability of electricity, go for alternative sources. Go for solar power plant building. Go for windmill or go for wind generation or solar power. So, if you have lower capacity utilization, find out the reason behind lower capacity utilization and do the rectification. Go for alternative measurement. I hope it's clear. So, this is not so much important. You can rely upon these. Capacity utilization analysis. I hope it's clear. Now next, productivity and efficiency analysis. Productivity and efficiency analysis. Now what does it mean by productivity and efficiency analysis? It is the ability to produce maximum possible output from a given set of resources. So I have very limited resources. From these limited resources, I need maximum output. Input is less. I have only limited input. From putting this limited input, I need to have maximum output. For that, if I am doing an evaluation, it is called as productivity and efficiency analysis. Now, This whatever maximum possible output which I am trying to get from minimum given set of resources can be depicted through a graphical representation which is called as production possibility frontal. Now, what is production possibility frontal? It is a graphical representation that illustrates about output limits of two products competing for finite resources. So there are limited resources and I have to utilize these limited resources for two products at the same time. Now, for which product I have to use much and for which product I have to go for opportunity cost. For determining this, if I am doing in a graphical representation, it is called as production possibility frontal, which is called as PPF. It will help us to identify the opportunity cost associated with reallocating resources from product to another product. So there are two products and I have the same resources. Now these resources I have to use for both product A and product B. If I am using for product A, I have to lose product B. If I am using for product B, I have to lose product A. Now if I am sacrificing something, the next best alternative, whatever cost is that is my opportunity cost. So determine opportunity cost, we will use a graphical representation which is called as production possibility frontal. If you want a clear cut thing of it, there is an example in the handwritten notes. You can go through the production possibility frontal which will make you understand more effectively. So there are two products, wheat and car, and have very limited resources like land, labor and machine. Now these resources I have to use for both wheat as well as car. So I have 5 choices. If I am using all the resources for wheat production, I can produce 100 tons of wheat, but I have to sacrifice the car. So whatever cost I am incurring for the car will be my opportunity cost. If I am going for 80 tons of wheat, I can produce 1 car. If I am 60, then 2 cars. If I am 30, then 3 cars. If I am going for 0 wheat, then I can produce 4 cars. Now what is my maximum potential? Either I can produce 100 tons of wheat or I can produce 4 cars with the given set of resources. But I need to have both the products. I need both the wheat as well as car. For this, a graphical representation is being made like this. This is called as graphical representation. This is how I'll determine which choice I have to make to have the better opportunity cost. It has been given to a production possibility frontal. I hope it's clear. Now, difference between productive efficiency and allocative efficiency. Slightest different if the benefit is only there to the producer. It is called as productive efficiency. Focus on maximizing output with limited resources. Only they will focus on the maximizing output for getting the benefit for the producer. If the benefit is only about the producer, only about the whoever the production is doing, only for him, if we are talking about benefit, it is called as productive efficiency. Now what is allocative efficiency? It is achieved when marginal cost is equal to marginal benefit. Here both producer as well as customer are giving the benefit. If both producer and customer are getting the benefit, it is called as allocative efficiency. If only producer is getting the benefit, it is called as productive efficiency. Only a slight difference is there. I hope it's clear. So this is regarding the production possibility frontal and production and efficiency analysis. I hope it's clear. So far we have discussed about capacity utilization analysis, performance analysis and productivity and efficiency analysis. Now, next is utility and energy efficiency analysis. Now, what does it mean by utility and energy efficiency analysis? The practice of using less energy to produce the same level of products and services. Now, what it is called as energy? Lighting, heating, transportation, all these are called as energy. Utilities means whatever I use in production process like water, power, steam, all these are called as utilities. Now, I am using utilities as well as energy in the production. Now, this utility and energy will be utilized. I have to utilize less energy, but I have to get the same level of output. This analysis, whatever I'm doing, is called as utility and energy efficiency. It is a practice of using less energy to provide the same level of products or services such as lighting, heating and transportation. Now, how this analysis will be done? This analysis have to be done by management auditor, including energy generated per unit of fuel. First, I determine, analyze the energy generated per unit of fuel consumed. So, if I am consuming fuel, from this fuel, how much electricity is being generated? For example, electricity, same generation. Then, trend analysis. Monitor energy cost as a percentage of total product cost. From entire product, how much the energy cost is there. Regarding that, you will do the monitoring. Then you will go for recycling. Explore opportunities for recycling materials like paper, glass, plastic and aluminium. Can I go for recycling? If I am going for recycling, what is my cost? If I am going for production, what is my cost? Then capacity utilization. Improve capacity utilization to enhance the input or output ratio. Plant and machinery upgrade. If for giving less cost in energy, if you have to upgrade the machinery, then you can consider it as a one-time investment and upgrade the machinery so that your energy cost will be reduced. So this is how the analysis can be done. First, you will determine what is per unit of fuel cost for you. You will go for trend analysis. You will determine what will be the recycling opportunities. You will determine capacity utilization. And if you have to go for plant and machinery upgradation. This is how you will do the analysis for utilities and energy efficiency. Now, energy efficiency in industry. If you are going for energy efficiency in industry, what all can be done? First, you can shift to electric motors. Efficient version can yield significant savings, often covering the purchase cost within few months. So whatever motor you are using so far, you will shift it with the electronic motor. Steel production. If steel production is being done, you will process the thin slab casting, which means to change the thin slab, it will take a less amount of energy. But if you have a thick slab, it will take a more energy consumption. So usually steel production entities will use thin slabbing so that it will be molded so easily. So these are the efficiency analysis which you can do in the industry. In homes and buildings, you can shift to the LED lighting so that your cost will be reduced. LED bulbs can save over 75% of energy cost. Energy efficiency appliances. You will go to the appliances. You will use the appliances which will give you the less energy consumption. Lower electricity bill. In case of transportation, how you will do the analysis? Improved engine technology. You will either replace it with the engine which is improved technology, or else you will use for transit system. Invest in public transport, cycling, walking infrastructure can lead to lower CO2 emission and improve air quality. And we have seen here as analysis, the recycling analysis can be done. Now, if you are going for recycling, then what is the importance of recycling? If you are going for aluminium, 95% of energy will be saved. Which means if you are trying to generate or produce aluminium newly, which means new aluminium, it will take 100% capacity. But if you are recycling aluminium, it will only take 95% of energy. Glass, if you are recycling glass, then recycling glass reduces air and water pollution. If you are going for paper manufacturing, uses only 60% of energy for recycling. Plastics, although only 14% of plastics are being recycled, we are not recycling all kind of plastic, but even though recycling rates of plastics are also getting increased day by day. So recycling is also having a major part of importance. So I hope it's clear. This is regarding the utilities and energy efficiency analysis. I hope it's clear. Next, concept number 6 about contribution analysis. Now what is contribution? How much profit I am getting from individual products and services. That is called as contribution. Used by business to assess how variable cost affects net income. By calculating contribution margin, companies can understand the profitability of individual products or business line. From each individual product, how much profit I am deriving. Regarding that, if I am doing the analysis, it is called as contribution analysis. So here you will do about the contribution margin. How you will determine contribution margin? Total revenue minus variable cost divided by number of units sold. Next, you will do profit volume chart, PV ratio, relationship between volume and profit, helping non-technical managers easily understand the impact of sales volume on the profitability. Then you will go for break-even analysis, which means a point where there is a no profit, no loss. Total revenue equals to total cost. Break-even point, fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. Then you can go for margin of safety. Now, how much sales are being dropped before you are reaching to the break-even point? That point is called as margin of safety. Then you will write the advantages and disadvantages of contribution analysis. What are the advantages? It is straightforward and helps managers to make the informed decisions. Performance insight provides clear insight into how much profit each unit generates beyond the break-even point. So how much profit I'm getting from each product, I'll be able to determine it. These are the advantages. Now what is the disadvantage? There is an assumption which we are taken when we are going for contribution analysis, that always there will be a constant selling price. So it is a disadvantage, because here we are assuming that always the selling price will be constant, which may not always hold true. So these are the advantages and disadvantages of concept 6, contribution analysis. I hope it's clear. Next, profitability analysis. Profitability analysis is the process of systematically analyzing the profits derived from various activities, projects, products of business. From each activity, from each project, from each process, how much profit I am deriving. Regarding that, analysis is called as profitability analysis. Now, how profitability analysis will be done? Using profitability ratios. Now, we have different ratios. Profitability ratios like operating profit margin, return on assets, return on equity, earnings before interest and tax. By all these ratios, you will be able to determine profitability ratios and you will be able to do the profitability analysis. Or you can go for customer cluster wise profitability analysis, which means based on customer segment and market, their contribution over the profitability. Based on market analysis, you will determine how many customers are there and how the performance is being made. Or you can go for qualitative analysis based on trends and business cycle. Product profitability management. This analysis focuses on individual products, evaluating about market performance, product price profitability, pricing strategies to ensure competitive and profitable pricing. So how much pricing for each and every product is there? So based on all these are the methods for determining the performing profitability analysis. You can go for profitability ratios or customer cluster wise profitability analysis, qualitative analysis, product profitability management. You can follow any of this method. And you can go for key profitability metrics also. Sales to sales ratio, which means net sales divided by average inventory, or you can go for gross margin, which is gross profit divided by net sales. You can use these key profitability metrics also. So this is about the profitability analysis. Next, concept number 8, working capital and liquidity management analysis. Now, what does it mean by working capital and liquidity management analysis? What is working capital? What is the net current assets available in day-to-day operations? That is called as working capital. It is defined as the difference between current assets and current liabilities. This every one of you know. Now, how effective working capital management will be done? Effective working capital management means avoiding liquidity issues, reduce borrowing and preventing business disruption, which means always we need to have liquid cash in our hands. If you are giving everything in credit, then how will get the money? The organization will not get the money and then they have to go for borrowing, which means interest rates are getting higher. We will not have a liquid in our hand. So, avoiding liquidity issues, reducing the borrowing and preventing the business disruption. This is how effective working capital management will be done in the organization. Improper working capital management, such as extending too much credit to customers, can create cash flow issues. Will not have liquidity, they will not give cash right after, and force the business to rely on debt, leading to increased interest burdens. So this is called as poor working capital management. How to have effective working capital management? Do liquidity issues, avoid liquidity issues, reduce borrowing and prevent business disruptions. Now, importance of working capital management. Current assets often make a significant portion of companies' total assets. Shareholders' wealth is closely linked to cash generation, which is driven by proper working capital management. Liquidity issues stemming from poor working capital management are a common cause of business failure. So, to have current assets, to determine shareholders' wealth and to reduce the liquidity issues, working capital management is important. Now, how working capital management will be done? You can go for liquidity analysis. Liquidity ratios. How liquidity ratios will be calculated? Based on current ratio. Current ratio means current assets divided by current liabilities. Or you can go for quick ratio, which means quick assets divided by current liabilities. Or you can go for efficiency ratios. Inventory turnover. Cost of sales divided by average inventory. Or inventory days. Average inventory divided by annual cost of sales into 365. Receivable days. How many days you are receiving it back? Average receivables divided by annual sales into 365. Payable days. Average payables divided by annual credit purchases into 365. Sales to working capital. Annual sales divided by average working capital. Then cash operating cycle. Inventory days plus receivable days minus payable days. So this is how the analysis will be done by for working capital and liquidity management analysis. From this only we have a practical question in the management audit. Now whatever practical question in last 5 MCQs they are testing. For new syllabus paper pattern, management audit question is being asked in the last 5 MCQs for past attempts. Even in the recent MQP is given in such way only. Last 5 MCQs are tested for practical question from management audit. So, if that is being asked as an MCQ, the MCQ will be tested from here. Through this working capital management and liquidity analysis, the question is being framed and that is being tested for MCQs, last 5 MCQs. I hope it's clear. So, nothing but you have to apply these formulas and get the answer. Simple. Question will be given, all the amounts will be given. You have to put this formulas and you have to derive the answer. Next, concept number 9, manpower analysis. This is important topic also given in Super 50 questions. Now, what is called as manpower analysis? To determine how much manpower is required, at what time it is required and what position they are required. Nothing but to simply remember right person at right time in right position. So, this analysis is called as manpower analysis. Now, as many things is developing, technology is developing day by day, everything is being done by artificial intelligence and technology. Now, AI is getting developed so much, even a human work is being replaced by AI. The efficiency of human work is increasing day by day. They have to upgrade themselves. So, how the management will decide what manpower is required in the organization other than AI? Even AI is there. To replace AI, we need manpower. So, recruiting manpower has become so much crucial step for the management when they are going for manpower analysis because of upgraded in technology and AI advancement. With technology advancement like robotics, AI and automation, the demand for new skill set is increasing, especially in technology driven organizations. This highlights the critical role of manpower planning in ensuring the right type of personnel is employed to meet these modern requirements. So what is manpower estimation? Assessing current workforce, including job description, age distribution, qualification and experience. So what is current workforce? How much members are currently working in the organization and how many we need? What is the job description? What is age distribution? What are the qualifications and what are the experience? First assessment has to be done. Then estimating future manpower needs. If future we are going for any other project, if any advancement is being made, how much manpower we require in the future? Considering factors such as business growth, expansion and technology changes. Ensuring that the organization meets its objectives by having the right quantity and quality of employees at an optimal cost. We need to have right quantity of employees, which means they need to have the experience and skill based on the organization development, and quantity of employees. If I need 2 employees, I only need 2 employees. If I'm recruiting 10 employees, then there is a waste of resources. So I have to do the better utilization of manpower based on right quantity and quality of employees. So determining all the 3 is manpower estimation. What are the objectives of manpower estimation? To have adequate, high quality of human resources, reduce recruiting and replacement cost. Now itself we are deciding what will be a future manpower need. and we are recruiting now itself. So we are trying to reduce the recruitment and replacement cost. Next, improve employee morale and satisfaction. We are giving them proper training. We are improving them. We are giving them more and more benefits so that they will also satisfy with their work. Prevent unnecessary workforce expansion or reduction. These are the objectives of manpower estimation. Now, key strategies for manpower planning. How you will do the manpower planning? First, collection, maintenance and interpretation of human resource data. Simple to write. If question has been asked as key strategies for manpower planning, just remember your interview process. How interview will be done? First, your information will be collected. Your resume will be collected. Collection, maintenance, interpretation of human resource data. Resume will be collected. Then, periodic review of manpower objectives and requirements in the organization. What are the requirements? What are the objectives of manpower? Which means what is the job description required? How many employees are required? Requirement, job description. Manpower objectives, requirement. Then, development of forecasting procedures. Whether they need 5 employees. Now, currently they need 5 employees. If in the near future, within 1 month or 2 months, they are getting into any project, then they might need more 5 employees. So now itself, they'll recruit 10 employees. What is the future manpower requirement? Then they'll try to recruit the people as that is necessary and utilization of manpower. After recruiting, they will allocate the work, allocation of work. And after that, they will do the performance barriers. They'll identify how you are performing the organization. So these are the strategies for manpower planning. I hope it's clear. Now, what is manpower planning process? Determining and reviewing organization objectives, forecasting future manpower requirements, inventory of present manpower resources, how many resources are available, anticipating manpower problems and planning for workforce programs. This is manpower planning process. So similarly, this is only given here also in a other manner. So I hope it is clear. So this is how manpower analysis is done. So here you have to clearly mention right personnel at right time and at right position have to be appointed. So regarding this, the analysis which is done by the organization management is called as manpower analysis. I hope it's clear. So connected to this only, there is approaches of HR demand forecasting. Now how HR demand forecasting will be done? Here we have seen in manpower analysis, development of forecasting procedures. Now this forecasting will be done by HR demand. So based on demand, forecasting will be done. For forecasting, the management will use 2 approaches. One is quantitative approach and next is qualitative approach. Now what is quantitative approach? If they are following statistical and mathematical techniques to forecast what will be the future HR needs, then that kind of analysis or approach is called as quantitative approach. But without statistical and mathematical techniques, if they are trying to focus on aspirations, abilities of employees within the organization, staffing needs. So what are the needs of organization? What are the abilities of employees? Based on that, if they are doing the approach or they are trying to do the calculation of how much needs are there in the future, it is called as qualitative approach. So this is the main difference between quantitative approach and qualitative approach. You have to see this qualitative and quantitative approach also. Majorly dependent. Remember, qualitative approach means both statistical and mathematical techniques will be used. Quantitative approach only it will focus on what is the need, what is the ability of employees. I hope it's clear. Next, management accounting tools. Now, whatever we have seen as key business metric analysis, all this analysis will be done by the management and they will give us a reporting to the management, which is called as management reporting. Now, while doing this analysis, there are different management accounting tools which will be used. Now, what are the different management accounting tools? Break-even analysis, capital budgeting analysis, constraint analysis, which is bottleneck analysis, inventory analysis, margin analysis, which is profit margin, transaction analysis, trend analysis. So these are the commonly used management accounting tools. And these management accounting tools are further classified into 5. Based on financial, based on cost accounting, based on mathematics, based on future information, and based on miscellaneous tools. So there are 5 classification of management accounting tools. If you're going for financial accounting information, then what kind of tools you can use? Financial statement analysis like ratio analysis, comparative statement, trend analysis, fund flow, cash flow analysis, return on capital employed techniques, all this you can use. Or else if you're going for cost accounting information, what you can use? Marginal costing like cost volume, profit volume analysis, direct or incremental costing, differential costing, standard costing, cost variance analysis. All these are techniques you can use in cost accounting. If you're going for mathematics, you can go for network analysis, queuing, theory, games theory, simulation theory. You would have come across all this. Linear programming, strategic cost management. And based on future information, budgeting, budgetary control, forecasting, project appraisal or evaluation. And if you're going for miscellaneous tools, then decision making, management information system, managerial reporting, all these are managerial accounting tools. These are the classification and these are commonly used management accounting tools. Now, these are the entire concepts which are there in Unit 2 of Section B Management Audit, which talks about management reporting issues and analysis. Now, in this, what is majorly important? Manpower analysis, HR demand forecasting, approaches of HR demand forecasting, and management accounting tools. These 3 concepts are very, very important for examination perspective. Now, what about other analysis, ma'am? Give a quick revision. Don't leave it. Analysis will be tested in the examination. Even though I have given in Super 50 only one analysis, which is manpower analysis, don't just focus on manpower analysis, focus on other also. Give a quick revision of other analysis. If you doesn't want to learn it, just watch this video once or twice. You will be able to understand. If question is there in the examination, you will be able to write something. So try to not leave it, but focus on all. I hope everything is clear. So we have done what? Management reporting issues and analysis. So we have completed the entire day 2 schedule. We have completed cost audit program, cost audit documentation, audit process and execution, preparation and filing of cost audit report, basics of management audit, management reporting issues and analysis. So we have completed all the 5 units. Entire section A cost audit Super 50 is completed. Section B unit 1 and unit 2 are completed. So I hope everything is clear. Do you have any doubts? Guys, any doubts so far? Is everything clear? Did you understand everything? Did you like the class? Did you understand what concepts are important, how questions are being framed in the examination, and how you have to present it in the examination? Did you understand all this? Did you like the class? Pavan, no doubts, ma'am, all clear. Thank you, Pavan. How was the class? Did you like the class? If you like the class, please hit the like button. Banu Teja, clear, ma'am. Priya, clear, ma'am. Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone. So yes, successfully we have completed day 1 target and day 2 target for Super 50 revision booster session. So yes, as everything is clear and no doubts. CMA Sundar, yes, we like most. Thank you so much, Sundar. So yes, day 1 and day 2 target is completed. We'll meet in the next session, which will be tomorrow from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. and we will start with day 3 target. Pavan Kumar, yes ma'am, I think for the time I listen to full class without skipping. Thank you so much, Pavan. Thank you so much. Focus on part 1 marathon and part 2 marathon. You will get much more clarity. And in Super 50 questions, we are discussing questions how you have to present it in the examination, and also what are the concepts related to that. We are discussing everything. So we are giving a superthon, marathon plus super 50 questions. Both concepts and questions are being discussed here. So yes, depend on part 1, part 2 and superthon, your entire preparation for this, June 2025 attempt will be completed. I hope everything is clear. So yes, we will close the session and we'll meet in tomorrow's class, and we will go for day 3 target. I hope every one of you enjoyed the class. Thank you so much for attending the live. We'll meet you guys in the next class. Till then, bye.